So, welcome, boys and girls, to another Radio ISR episode. Huh? They're so lucky, aren't they? Huh? So we're back again with our new format because it was such a success the last time around.
Back by popular demand.
You got it, absolutely. And we're going to be doing exactly the same thing because we managed to get a few more emails in for people to ask us some questions that to give us a stab at answering. So we'll do our best, boys and girls, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And again, I just want to talk to those people out there who want to just listen to this in a podcast format and not really look at our ugly mugs. As I said before, for example, an iPhone, it's pretty straightforward. They come standard with a podcast app. It's already pre-installed. Open that up, type in Radio ISR. You'll find us. It's brilliant. And then from there, hit subscribe. And then from now on, when these new episodes comes out, you'll find it. And I think when it comes to an Android phone, it's pretty similar. Except for you've just got to download it from your, I think what they call Google Play store first of all, and there's millions of different apps on there, and then you can find us from there.
There's one called Podkicker. Podkicker's good.
There you go. But if not, you want to stay on and keep watching us here, then great, no problem. It's your choice. So what I'm going to talk about now is a little reminder. We had some fun last time with the chat window, and again, for anybody who's watching us streaming live out there in the old YouTube land on there, we'll see that our viewer chat is now open. So please feel free, like the last time, to throw in some comments in there. Bring it on, and we'll do our best to read them out during this show. So without further ado, we'll talk about our first letter. So this goes straight to you, Dave. Is there a set daily routine that you'd recommend so I can maximize my business? And it was a guy named Alan in the USA. So I don't know if we got any ISRs in the USA, or is he just saying he's from the USA? So whatever you got there. But Alan, let's go ahead and try and answer it.
Alan, I could talk about a set routine for hours, so I will. Right? No, I think that it's very important. I was reading some stats earlier on, and they said that 80% of successful salespeople have a set routine that they go through on a daily basis. And as boring as it sounds, without it, you'll start to get led astray during your day, and you'll procrastinate, and different tasks that you're doing will take over your day. And then you and me often talk actually about the fact that you could sit there answering emails all day long and then not get anything done because you're just replying to emails.
Yeah, but you'd actually feel you were productive. You
Yeah.
just sat there in front of your computer all day, was staring at it as each email came in.
And, everyone would be happy to get a quick answer to an email, but unfortunately, anyway, this is called Radio ISR, not Radio RSM.
Oh, a great idea for a new show. We'd have 7 or 8 people listen to us if we were lucky. Hello? Hello?
Is anybody out there? So the first thing I suggest, right, as crazy as it sounds, is what I used to find when I was an ISR that was really productive was first thing in the morning, I just open up my laptop and just do my emails real quickly while I was having a coffee. First thing in the morning, having a coffee before I even left the house, right? And that actually put out any fires so that it was done. And by the time I was getting in my car at 7:30 a.m., because I'm an early bird.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then I would automatically have everything done when I arrived into the office. So I could actually concentrate on being productive instead of just spending the first 2 hours answering emails. Because emails they're just time thieves. You will sit there for 2 hours, and next thing you're at lunchtime and you haven't actually picked up a phone to call an active prospect, or you haven't been outside, you haven't set up your day. Yeah. So first thing is get them done. Second thing to do is tackle your least favorite task first. Yeah. I remember Tom Kavanagh saying this to me years ago. And the reason being is if you don't do it first thing in the morning, you ain't going to do it. Yeah. So if you've got a customer that you don't want to call and tell them that the car has been delayed because we've a lack of rail cars in the States. Or
that ruins your whole day.
It's hanging over you.
That really does, yeah.
And especially when the guy actually shows up at your desk at 3 in the afternoon and you haven't actually been the active guy to call them.
And you've got another customer in front of you you're trying to close.
Avoided it. Yeah.
So tackle your least, and guess what? If you tackle your least favorite task first, it will create what's called a success spiral, right? And this is true. It will give you so much energy that you actually went and tackled that task that you didn't want to do, that you'll move on to another task that you didn't want to do. And next thing you know, you're hitting 9:45 a.m. and you're ready to actually start prospecting. Yeah. So next thing to do is to make your sales calls first while you're still full of energy and try and organize your appointments for the day. Okay. So your day hasn't even started yet and you're already hitting your hot 5 leads and saying, guess what? I've got great news. Marketing just came in. There's now $6,000 off for a year-end sale on a Dodge Journey. Can you make it in today at lunchtime? Okay. The next thing I'd say would be structure your day. So, you know, on base, I know a gentleman who's very good at structuring his day for appointments. And that brings on another point is learn to say no. So if you have a customer who's basically coming in to sign finance contracts, which we don't do in the office anymore, but if they're coming in to do something simple, like you need to do inland documents, we do in Italy, right? Yeah. Why are you going to have them coming in during lunchtime? When
hang on, boys.
Busiest time,
the F-16s are taking off.
Yes, people know we're really in a war zone.
Live from the end of Aviano Air Base, right on the bottom of the flight line.
So if you have lunchtime as your busiest day, it's heartbreaking to see all the new leads going over to another ISR just because you have a customer sitting down. And that brings up another point. Learn how to tell someone to move on, because if they're coming shopping and they think you're best pals, they'll sit down and want to chat to you for
Want
an
a
hour.
friend, buy a dog.
Yeah,
I know that's really cruel, but there is a truth on that. And,
I mean, you can do it in a nice way.
Yeah.
I was never very good at it, I have to say. I used to chat with them, but it's nice to be able to turn around and say, listen, I'd love to stay and chat with you, but I have a really busy day, so run on and let me get on with my thing. Don't procrastinate. Okay, if you're the type that you'd never, Carlos, you'd never have on your laptop tabs and tabs and tabs open along Chrome. On a thing. When I open your laptop, it's just literally work, and that's all there is there. And I'm sorry to say, but if you've got time to, update your social media 7 times a day and read the newspapers, you're doing something wrong. Yeah. You're doing something wrong. You're getting distracted. You're procrastinating. So if you look at your laptop right now and you've got lots of tabs open, then close the tabs, disable the sites, disable Facebook at work, and as crazy as it might sound, disable automatic email pings. When it comes in and every 15 minutes it tells you you've got 70 emails.
You're straight away looking over it all
you
the
look
time.
at them.
Yeah.
And Microsoft did research on this, and on average it takes you, when you're on a task and you go, I'll answer that email, on average it takes you 15 whole minutes to actually get back to the original task you were doing and reconcentrate.
And especially if it's a bad news email, like for example, just get an email from New York, not their fault, but a vehicle's going to be late or whatever, and then you suddenly spiral in your brain off to how much that's what that's going to cause and the calamity and all the rest of it, and you should be just focused on actually picking up the phone and making that call to make that appointment. So there's no doubt about it. So as far as the structure goes, Dave, so you'd say in the morning you're saying come in, knock out all that stuff. So knock out the emails and everything else on. I
would say emails done before you even set foot in the office, right? I mean, they really allows you, and now you can do them on your phone. A lot of them,
and we have VPNs now because we've all got the laptop.
Yeah,
so
you're drinking your coffee, you've got your laptop on, bang, 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 bang. As much as it sounds antisocial, I used to feel like a weight was off my shoulders when I actually arrived in, and I was able to actually go, right, what am I going to do with my day now? Next thing to do while you have the energy is the task that you don't want to do, which maybe gives some bad news to people as you're going through your orders. And the next thing to do while you're full of energy is make those phone calls, make those sales phone calls first thing. Yeah. Get them on the phone.
And don't get distracted if you don't get through to that person, because that's another thing. You got your 5 calls in front of you that you want to make. And then as soon as you get a no answer from the first person, then you're I'll go and get a coffee and I'll go and, and then maybe when I come back after having my coffee, that maybe they'll answer this time. But that's not how you do it. You got to knock out the other 4 of them and then see where you are then, if that's going to be a schedule for.
And then also you don't end up on the ERM's bad list for expired sales track 15.
There you go.
Stop. Well, the bane of our lives, that is. Yeah, that's for sure.
Let's not discount that coffee, because coffee is very important to salespeople.
Coffee's for closers.
Coffee and balloons sell cars. And then the last thing is so I said shut down the distractions. Yeah. Okay, do not open as soon as I'm going in to do a business review on someone, and I know I'm going into someone who's going to have a bad review. I can tell you 9 times out of 10, there's about 10 tabs open on Google Chrome, reading news, updating Facebook. And now Facebook has a thing that pings automatically when you get a message. You can now have the app on your phone. If you've got a Facebook page and a Google page that you just showed me a minute ago, Carlos, with Google Analytics now, you can actually get the ping when someone's interacting with you. Facebook, you can get the ping as well. Turn your phone upside down while you're doing your stuff first thing in the morning, and then turn it back over again. For anyone who's not watching, I'm turning the phone upside down there, right? Doing a bit of sign language. But, that will allow you then to concentrate on what you need to do. Don't get sidelined by the other stuff, do the stuff you don't want to do first. And then set up alerts. So if you've got something you want to do in the morning, you've got a guy you really wanted to call, you didn't get him, it's so easy to actually set up an alert. You know how to actually make a call alert on ST15 now. You can also do with Outlook, you can set an alert at 3 o'clock. You said you were going to call this guy back, because God forbid he has to walk back in and say, you said you were going to call me at 3. It just makes you look unprofessional. And if you need to take a break, you know, because we're all human.
Can I just throw a question in there for Carlos? Because, you know, he's got an AX perspective on this. And one of the things I wanted to say was, you know, clearly, as you mentioned earlier on, you want to clear up your day, get ready for lunchtime, because on the PX side of the house, if you're going to get some traffic, generally, it's going to be around lunchtime, and it's going to be later in the evenings on there. So your routine might be slightly different here, right? If you were doing the same thing. So trying to keep yourself busy during the day, you know, taking care of your deliveries and all that. How would that, is it similar to what Dave is talking to there? Or is there any little differences there that you'd feel you would?
Very similar, but, you know, to the point to where there's one question that I always ask prospects that come in, you know, just to make sure that when the AX, being that foot traffic can be to the minimum, you know, you don't want to be tied up with one customer. You know, maybe you got another 3 guys coming through and waiting for you. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking the customers, how much time do you have today? Yeah. You know, and then you can actually schedule those, you know, appointments for different days, what have you. And it's all about being prepared. Okay.
And then, you know, one of the things I was taught was have all the paperwork pre-filled in. Yeah. So that was one of the things, and I really took to that, you know. So if there was anything I could be doing, and have it all ready for when my customer came in. So if there was a chance I was busy with the customer or whatever, then as soon as they came in, sign here and here and here. That's all they wanted. They just wanted to come in and sign the stuff and get the hell out of there. So at least I was providing a good service, but then I was freeing myself up. And I worked in many multi-man locations where there was 5 or 6 other salespeople all selling the same product. So not only are you trying to keep your business going and deliver your cars and do everything you need to be doing, but you got to be really mindful that if you're not prepared and ready, someone else is going to take the customer by the hand.
So another tip, and it's as corny as it might sound, if you listen to positive podcasts, positive YouTube videos, positive, if you have a speaker.
Like Radio ISR.
Exactly. Listen to Radio ISR in the shower in the morning. Feel positive and get out there and get them. But I remember Andy Kerry, a guy who worked for us down in Naples, used to always be swapping positive videos with me in the morning, where it was like, listen to these motivational videos, you know, and I'd have a speaker in the shower and you could listen to this. And as corny as it might sound, you can't help but by osmosis, you're sucking in a bit of positive energy and you're bounding out of the house in the morning ready to sell a car, you know.
So that's a good set. That is a part of your routine, that's for sure. Yeah, I can see that. It's not just, it's getting you in the right frame of mind, isn't it, as well, you know?
Yeah. And then the last thing I'd say on it is basically consider your peak energy and your own personality. So, I mean, I got to say, after lunch, my energy wanes. Yeah, I mean, coming into 3 and 4 o'clock, if I've got a problem, I procrastinate on tackling that problem head on as I would at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, so if you've got your energy first thing in the morning, try and use as much of it positively, you know, and making the changes you need to make during the day. And at the end of it, then recap. So if you turn around and say, that was a great day, what did I do well today? You can say, well, I started like this. I structured it to have my lunchtime free to do my active prospecting, bag a load of leads. And then after that, I did my admin for the afternoon. Fantastic. I left the office. Everyone got the emails they were supposed to get, and everyone was happy, and it was a great day for me. Or if you say, you know what, I got sidelined today because I had 3 customers show up at once without appointments, you can change it.
It's a tough job, you know. I mean, most of the guys out there are full selling dealerships, so you really have to manage your time very well. You know, your job isn't just selling all day long. It's selling, delivering the car, doing this. Really, you know, it's the amount of jobs you have to do, and you just got to find the juggle all the time. And the key is you're juggling all the time to really be there so that you can generate a new sale as well. Because if you don't, you know, if you're not talking to enough people and you're not taking enough leads and you're not making enough presentations, then, you know, the business is going to run out of you. And you see that a lot when brand new ISR starts, when they have their first big order month, right? So they do their first big order month, they do 10 orders, and then next month they don't, and then next month they do all their deliveries and don't do any more orders, and it becomes a roller coaster because all the deliveries start coming in, and then they're running around with chicken no heads because, you know, they're just not organized and they don't know all the skills in order to deliver the customer the car. And then you see the steady old professional, and their order months and their delivery months are just solid all the time because they know how to juggle both sides of the business. You know,
I think that's another good point there as well. You made that, Dave, with assessing at the end of the day. You know, it's fine in the end of it becoming focused at the beginning of the day, but at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with recapping and then also getting a head start to set up your next day.
Yeah.
So therefore when you come in the next morning and you're not sitting there spinning at the wheels saying, oh my God, what am I going to do? What have you? Your last couple of hours, the previous day, you can go ahead and actually put together something together for your
Very true. Our chat window, boys and girls, has been pinging away here like mad. They have been. So hopefully there's no profanity.
Get back to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No profanity, hopefully, Okay, so I open it up here. We got Merc Daddy. Try coming to the dark side.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah, there you go. Like I said
Call
earlier
it all
on.
PXISRs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. AX/_, going to sell the crap out of these 2019s as soon as I know what they cost.
Pricing any day now.
Have you ever had that experience, that problem?
Oh, yes.
Cars in stock, they're already here and we can't actually put a price on them,
Cars already built and can't even deliver them.
Oh my God. Did you hear that? Did you?
That was not a phone. Yeah, that's not a 10-euro fine.
Make sure your phones are on silent.
I think you said that, right?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Because anybody could call at any time. Bad enough we got these jets going over our heads all the time, NY Processing. Hey guys. Right. Hey to yourself.
Hey.
Davey Gold. Back to work, guys.
He's talking to New York Processing.
Nothing to do with us then, Brem 1. Anyone know how to get an escape out of travel mode?
Who's that from?
Brem 1.
Brem 1. That must be someone delivering cars up.
Well, G might know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. G might know. He's been going back in emails back and forth there a while back, so maybe he knows the answer to it. So anybody knows how to get an escape out of travel mode, please let us know. And now we're going to move on to our next letter, and it's what exactly is build out, and does it affect me? Mike in Korea. Mike, absolutely. 100%. Especially yourself in Korea and Japan and the guys who you rely on a lot of SPO business, build out can definitely affect business. There's no doubt about it. And, we go through these nice periods of the year where we can order the car, get it exactly what the customer wants, no problem. And then suddenly we get an email saying the vehicles are building out and we can no longer order them anymore. So build out itself, what is it? Well, what happens is the manufacturers themselves kind of budget at the start of the year how many cars they're going to sell. So for example, say they know they're going to deliver 100,000 cars because that's what the dealers are pretty much signed up for. Then they're going to have the right amount of employees, they're going to order the right amount of paint, the right amount of navigation systems, all the things that they think that someone's going to want in these 100,000 vehicles. And at some point in the year, they've received enough orders for the 100,000 and that's built out because they can no longer do any more. They're not going to hire more employees. They're not going to get any more radios or order any more paint. They are done for what they need to do for that entire year's worth of production. So that's what it is. So that happens and we prepared for it in some of the vehicles. We see it coming and we can explain to our customers beforehand and, we can get them off the fence on there. But the pain is that as soon as the vehicle is built out, we got these big, long lead times. And that's always difficult, and especially, when you don't have a lot of local stock or a stock back in the States. And I think that's kind of where we should focus on how does it affect me. So you wake up one day and no longer can you order the vehicle with a 60-day lead time or 70-day lead time, and now it's looking like it's cut off May and the earliest delivery date is going to be October, and your customer is rotating back to the States during the summer months. So that can be a tough sell when that happens. So there's no doubt about that, So that's, I suppose, is the question, how does it affect me? Well, the other thing to keep in mind is that if you do a build out, a vehicle, and you do the uplift on it, and and that's on this year's specs, you got to be very mindful that you have to rewrite the customer to firm specs as well, or the vehicle won't be built. So you'll take these money, you'll do the orders, and guess what? Nothing will happen with the vehicle. So that's something you have to be very mindful as well. Dave, you got anything you would?
Yeah, I've I know that Carlos attested to it in the email, the podcast that we did last week, wherein he was saying that people think that it is just a direct flow where a special order is basically the factory doors are always open and they don't realize, as you just said there, that there is a quota that when the factory hits it, they close the doors. And I remember with Jeep in particular, they pulled the carpet out from under our feet in the Grand Cherokee a couple of years ago, and we had a lot of Grand Cherokee orders that we were stuck with our pants down on, where customers had ordered the vehicles 9 months beforehand, and guess what? Build out just happened overnight, and none of those cars were getting built, and the ISRs couldn't understand. They were saying, I had the order in for 9 months ago, and an order I put in 6 months ago got built for an earlier delivery time. Why is that? And the point you're making there is we won't place the order until it's coming close to the delivery date, but if the factory runs out of cars, unfortunately they're out of cars, you know. So you just have to keep really your finger on the pulse with the marketing webpage. When they say build out is approaching, you got to go through all your open orders and see who's looking for a delivery in the next, you know, in the next 6 months. And if any of them are looking for a delivery within the next 6 months, you got to get the rewrite done then and make sure it goes to firm specs, you know.
Yeah, and speaking on the AX side, you know, probably something that the guys on the PX does not experience, because on the AX business, we can order cars that take people off the market.
Yeah.
Up to 3 calendar years.
Yeah.
You know, out in advance there. So if, you know, you have customers that you're taking off the market after 3 calendar years, you really have to keep your hand on the pulse there to make sure you remind yourself and be mindful that if 3 years down the line, and then there's a build out that comes in, you know, first quarter, you know, then there's possibilities that that customer can now miss, you know, their production slot even after 3 years of waiting. So
that's definitely the ball's in your court, and you got to make sure that. Imagine telling people that, you know, you're going to go ahead and SPO the vehicle and it doesn't happen, you know. So that could be very, very frustrating for our customers. So it's been pinging away again, our little chat window, Dave. So
all right,
I want to go over some of this stuff on here. Jaybird says, open a trouble ticket.
What was that about? That was about what was the last question in that? I can't even remember. That was open a trouble ticket. Maybe he's probably looking to try and solve how to get the Jeep out.
Travel mode, exactly.
Nice one, Jaybird.
Oh man, I tell you, very, very good. You know, so that UK and Iraq. Anyone lend me a show car?
Oh yeah, you see, we take it for granted.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sorry, mate, no,
but you can still keep using those brochures if you have them, you know. Guam 22, storms on the way. Sounds like a jet's on the way here.
Ban down the hatches, Guam. Ban down the hatches.
Okinawa 1, living the dream, selling the dream. That's quite
good
nice
stuff.
Ramstein for life. Well, okay, fair enough. Hey, you guys. Well, hey, you guys back.
Hey, you guys.
And Avia Noking. Lead times are great, aren't they? Or no, lead times aren't great, more like it.
Do you know what? I just realised. Avia no king.
Yeah.
Is Aviano king?
Oh, Jesus. It reminds me of that. You know, you listen to Small Town Murders? Yeah. If you ever listen to the end, the guy down there just reads out the same thing. You can never read them properly either. You know. Oh, that is so cool. That is so.
So he's like, did you ever do the experiment? Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. Yeah, but do you ever, what does YES spell? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So again, what does YES spell?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to put an E in front of it. What does YES spell?
I don't know. I don't know.
Say it out. What's it? YES spell?
ES.
No, eyes.
Oh, brilliant. Sorry, I'm cutting this all out of here. This makes me look stupid, and I'm never going to look stupid. I'm not, you know. So.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Oh. Sorry, ISRs. Yeah, you can use that one at home. Family friendly.
Oh, that is very, very good. That is. Carlos, moving on to you. Carlos, I have seen your Facebook page, and you do a lot of video walkarounds. How much success does that bring you?
Well, it's been very successful. As I mentioned in our
he's just saying video, that, isn't he?
In the podcast that we did there last week about, you know, foot traffic, you know, or things that so you're really educating the customers down. We found a lot of success with actually doing spotlight vehicles. So if there's any vehicles that's been in stock for a long period of time, or a vehicle that's now went on discount, so there's nothing wrong with put up the Facebook videos, and it really opens up the eyes to the customers. And what customers now coming back to us is, hey, can you give me more information on that vehicle?
I completely agree. And I don't know, there's some statistic out there. I think Perry Williams said on one of my podcasts before, it was about Facebook, and, you know, something like, you know, it's 4,000% more likely that somebody will watch a video as opposed to, you know, reading text.
1,200%. I listen to you, Perry. Yeah. 1,200%.
It's a lot of percents anyway you want to look at it, you know. And we're not talking about the videos that come on automatically, because on your Facebook page, people will travel there, and you can actually see that people are actually looking at the videos, which was a testament to it as well. Now you got very comfortable doing it, I got to say, and now I saw one today which I'll be sharing at this year's launch meeting, and it was very good. It was the launch of the CHR, the Toyota, and it really is very powerful stuff, and borderline professional. So I would imagine people looking at that thinking, well, if he puts that much effort into this, imagine the effort he's going to be putting into into selling me a car and everything else on there. So more power to you, that's for sure.
And then from those videos there as well, I mean, the power is limitless. Even with your friends that are watching, what have you, you do have your friends that are sharing these videos there as well, so they're actually reaching a larger audience that you could not maybe potentially reach yourself.
And tell me this, I've noticed that you do on your Facebook a delivery video for every delivery that you do, that you can then tag the customer in, correct? If it's coming from your friend's page.
Correct. There, then you tag the customers from the friend page. Your location page is tagged as well. And with this being tagged, your customers being tagged, now all of their friends can actually see, hey, listen, Dave just picked up his brand new car. I need to go over and see that guy, so I can pick up one of those as well. So you're really spreading the word. Facebook is the way forward, and it's definitely where you're seeing a lot of good dividends off of.
Yeah, and then this all lends to the same thing when we did the handover video, and again, what we spoke about before about great product knowledge, and it's all basically from there, isn't it? You got good product knowledge, you know about the vehicle, and it looks effortlessly. I take it you're probably not putting a huge amount of time into it now that you've got used to doing it, right?
Actually, Dave, he was looking at the video that we did, the day for the Toyota-thon. And says, what is really good? It literally only took 5 minutes, tops, to put it together.
Yeah, and if anybody's at home listening to us or watching us now on Facebook or whatever, I'm sure they can appreciate, just like we're doing these radio ISR, but we're not really thinking, and we're just going through this and we're talking naturally. And these videos can be exactly the same thing, right? You just get in front of a camera and say, hey, my name's Carlos and I want to introduce you to the new vehicle. It just arrived in my showroom and it's great because, and you already know why it's great, because you already like the product. So
because the star is the actual car.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And you could, and I hate to say it, but that's our job, and we should be able to talk about the cars, and without overthinking it.
Can I just butt in there and just say, if anyone's listening and would like to check out a few of the videos, just go to Facebook. It will be Facebook via Portadone 48. Yeah, so it'll be, you'll find, if you type in Facebook Volkswagen Italy, I'm sure you'll find, but Facebook, it says it's...
well, I can do one better than that, Dave. I can put in the link in the description box just below in the YouTube, and anybody who's watching this video right now can just click on the hyperlink and it will hyperlink straight over.
Beautiful.
And they'll see that stuff on it, yeah. I know, it's brilliant. Put a link in the description. I hear it all the time, and I actually use it all the time when I'm researching stuff. Yeah.
Even with the guys listening there as well, actually Ewan, shout out to Ewan there. He sent me on WhatsApp. He was chatting with me and says, hey, listen, those videos look really great, Carlos. What software you're using, how you put them together, what have you. Have no problems whatsoever, with, putting information out there so that, everyone is accessible to it. So.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Like I said, I came in today and I saw a few what you're doing, and I got to say they're really, really good. And, if you've got the time, and you certainly here in the showroom situation, you can certainly, do it. But what happens if you're working, like, for example, like Ewan, who's working in a small little PX office? What advice would you have for someone like that for making these videos?
I mean, with most of them as well, good thing, you're doing everything from your smartphone device.
Yeah.
So as long as, if you take a few photos, what have you, it doesn't have to be anything that ties up your business day, especially like what Dave, mentioned there before, being prepared, coming in and not, erupting your business day. So those things that you can do in your pastime.
Yeah.
And that's what it's called, social media. So you can do it on social time. You can be sitting at home anywhere, and you can post these videos all through your smartphone device. So it's not anything that you need to do in the showroom.
Cool. And you're going to be at the launch meetings this year in January, and you're going to be helping some of our guys out basically and motivating them a little bit and showing them kind of how easy to do this, if I'm not. So for those of you that are in Germany or in Europe or whatever, then hopefully Carlos will be able to help you, give you some pointers when that time comes. If you're in the other end of the world, well then I'm sorry, but you might want to look at his Facebook page and you can see yourself the kind of quality stuff he's doing, and no doubt it is definitely making a difference, that's for sure. Dave, do you want to add anything in there, or shall I go to the chat window right now?
I've had my 2 cents. Let's see what the
Good
lads are
man.
saying. And
Good man.
girls.
Hopefully, we can remember the tune. Only a couple of chats have come in. That's all. It was customer service said, "Send me a pic of the key."
They always need a pick of the
They
key.
always do, yeah. And then Mass One says, "Hi from Afghanistan."
Well, hello.
There you go. Thanks for listening. Really do appreciate that, So that's it, boys and girls. That's the end of today's show. And again, if you've got any ideas or any, want to send us some other stuff that you want to cover in the next show round, we will do so. The next one should be coming out about the 15th of December. It's going to be our Christmas special edition.
Wow.
So that should be really excited. That will be,
Oh.
Exactly, yeah. So then, till
You're
then,
nice.
there you go. Till then, take care.